Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
This is the Closing Bell on the Stock Movers Report. The companies making moves at the close of U.S. trading with Carol Massar, Tim Stenovec, Romaine Bostick, and Scarlett Fu.
Let's get to some of the individual gainers. Got to mention airline names in today's session, up about 9% as a group overall. We did get a read on inflation. We saw airline fares, a big contributor to the Supercore services gain, that 4% monthly increase, the biggest for this category in more than 3 years. We also talked a little bit about Spirit Airlines and what's going on with them, and then maybe that provides more business for others as they have their own struggles. So anyway, airlines definitely some outperformance. United, in fact, that stock alone was up 10% in today's session, the number one gainer in the S&P. Delta was the number two gainer. Want to mention the SOX, the Philly Semiconductor Index, that was up about 3% in today's session. Shareholders reacting to CEO Lip Bhutan's meeting with President Trump. The president describing the meeting as a very interesting one. He talked about his amazing story, his background, a little bit more positive. So Intel also up about 5.6% in today's session. And then AST SpaceMobile, we talked about it a little bit on air. David and I did with Nora Melinda. It's a satellite firm. It's set at an ambitious plan to launch about 45 to 60 satellites this year and next year. It also said it received 2 additional early stage contracts from the U.S. government. So that one, some outperformance there as well. David, up 8%.
I'm looking at decliners. Nobody wants to hear about decliners on a record-setting day, so I'll move swiftly through these. But I am looking at a couple of healthcare services stocks on this Tuesday, a broad umbrella, so much underneath there. But McKesson's the first one I'm going to point out here, headquartered in Irving, Texas. It announced plans to spin off its medical surgical solutions business segment into another discrete company. Another healthcare services company I'm looking at is Cardinal Health, down about 8% today, buying Solaris in a $1.9 billion deal. That on the heels of a miss in adjusted operating income. I think it's down the most since 2021. Last company I'll flag here is Aon, that professional services company. A lot of action in the option space there, but we're seeing it down today as well, guys.
And we take a quick check on yields, and I think the steepening of the yield curve really tells the story of where this market's head is at. You did see short-term yields drop, the 2-year down about 4 basis points, as now the market seems to price in a much firmer possibility that we will get a rate cut in September, and that includes a 94% chance, based on Bloomberg calculations, that we will get a 25 basis point cut at the September meeting, and an 81% chance that we'll get a second cut before the end of the year.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.